What's up everyone? This is Jake with BL Pallet Racking, and today we are at a brand spanking new gigantic warehouse in West Valley for Randy's Transmissions. We are installing a ton of pallet racking today. We've got something like 130 uprights going up in this space here. We're gonna be here over the next like 4 or 5 days. I'll be sure to bring you along as we get all these uprights up. We're gonna be using spacers because some of the racking is gonna be going back to back. We're get it all anchored into the ground. And yeah, today's the start of day number 1. We've got some of the material here today, just the stuff that we're gonna be able to, physically install today. But every day that we come back here this week and maybe into next week, we're gonna be bringing more material with us every day. So this place is really cool, really big. You can see, here's the truck. You can see, kind of gauge how big this space is. But I'm excited. We're gonna be super beat at the end of every day, but it's gonna be great. So stick around and I'll show you some of this install as we get it underway today. Okay, so step number 1 is to take the blueprints that the customer gave us and get it all mapped out on the floor. So that's what Chad and Peyton are doing. They're looking to see exactly how far off of each wall we need to be. There's not only like state and city codes that we have to follow, but also just the specifications from the customer. So customers are over there. When we got here, first thing we did was, when we got the material pulled in, is we made sure, triple checked with them that they knew where everything was going and it was gonna be exactly where they wanted. So we walked the floor with them, and they want to stick with the plan. They made a couple minor adjustments, but nothing major. So once we have everything marked out and laid out here on the floor, then it'll be time to start getting some uprights put up, and then the beams, and then the wire decking. And then from there, the final step, even after the spacers are done, will be to anchor everything into the ground. So anchoring will come last. So anyways, step number 1, got our chalk line down on the ground. So chalk got a little bit wet yesterday in the rain, but we're good to go. Okay, so I goofed on some of my camera settings. I had the GoPro set to take photo and not video. So anyways, I'll be sure to re-show this process because we got to be doing it a ton more times. Like I said, there's 130 uprights going up here, but I'll just show this process here now, what's left of it on this side, before we start adding more shelving and more beams. Okay, so we have the first row of uprights done. You can see it behind me. Looks good. And now we're gonna be putting another one over here, just 10 feet away. So now we're just making some space and we'll get this next one going. So, doing this the rest of the day. Okay, so it's time for the second row. You see we have our chalk line right here down the middle. Chad actually did a little demo for the customers just to show them how much room they'd have with their forklift for when their employees are getting in and out of the row, lifting stuff up and down off of the racking. And they actually decided that they wanted it to be spaced a little further apart. So we adjusted, checked to make sure that we weren't gonna be hitting this column in the wrong spot. And now we're getting started over here. So I'll get the camera set up and you can kind of watch how we get these uprights put up. Okay, so quick update. We got this second row done. We still need to do the different shelves on this side, but we've got this third one just a foot apart from this other one. And that's where we're gonna be attaching our spacers. So the spacers will come another day while we're here, not today. But you can see we just have a few more uprights to get right here. So just about there. Okay, it's the end of day one. And this is everything we got done. So we got 3 rows. We had a couple of extras, just because Customer ended up deciding not to have this last section here. Everything looks super good. It's really square. All of the spacers are gonna go between these two rows here. And then they'll also go in between any other rows that have back-to-back spacing like that. So, that's it for day one. And we brought 30 uprights with us today out of 130. So 100 more uprights to go. So this is easily gonna take more than the 4 days that I thought it was gonna take.
6.
Chad says 6 days.
6 to 7.
6 to 7 days.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, we'll see you tomorrow when we're back here at the install. Okay, I'm back. It is the start of day 3. Yes, that's right. I didn't do any filming on day 2 because it was actually incredibly repetitive. We got these 3 rows up here. Chad's just getting our material for the day unloaded. We've got all of these uprights, wire decking, more wire decking. The beams are all in Peyton's truck and on his trailer. So these are going good. Now, one thing that I want to point out that we did on day 2 that was really cool that I didn't get on video is just how we buried this column, is what I would say. So we used the customer's blueprints, and actually in their design, they had this all mapped out already, but we were able to actually cut a piece of wire decking to fit right around this pole here. So we could have done it a little bit differently, but this way is the best way so that they can still use some of the space on this half of the wire decking on this shelf. So we did that all the way up. Also, I didn't show this, but if you notice, we removed the top row. There's now only 3 bays or 3 shelves that we built instead of 4. There was a little bit of miscommunication between us and the customer. The sprinkler system in this building, and I don't know how they do these ratings or determine the max height of the pallet racking they can have, but they were only able to have pallet racking shelving up to about 20 feet. And adding this 4th shelf was gonna take them over that. So, and also the reason that we're using these 25-foot uprights is because this is used pallet racking. At BL Pallet Racking, we sell and install both new and used pallet racking. So all of these beams are new, and the wire decking that we're using is new, but the uprights themselves are used. And so the customer saved money, and I'm sure that's why they chose to have taller uprights than they needed, but they saved some money by having some used uprights installed. So we're happy to do that, and it's going good. So anyways, I'll update you and set up some time lapses today as we install, but we're gonna be just doing more of the same stuff, more uprights, more shelving, more wire decking, and we're on kind of a bit of a time crunch. And one of our guys, John, over here on the right, today's his last day, and the other 3 of us, we have deliveries and other types of installs to do next week. So there's actually a chance, probably a pretty good chance, we're gonna be using one of our subcontractors to put all the anchoring in here and possibly some of the spacers. But I know I'll be here today and on Monday and Tuesday while we get this install done. And then I'll update, might not be able to show the finished product, but or the anchoring process, just whatever's left I won't be able to show. But other than that, we're ready for another day of lifting and wearing our harnesses and getting up on these shelves, and got my energy drink, so it's gonna be a good day. Okay, so just like that, day 3 is over. We got a few more rows up today. Everything is looking great. We did take a rough measurement of this pole here and the distance from here. And it looks like it's gonna end up falling right in the middle of a beam, despite the blueprints that we were given. So we have to make some adjustments and update you probably on Monday, which will be day 4 of this install. So anyways, good day. No crushed fingers, no crushed toes. And yeah, I think it's coming together really nice. Now it's just time to pack up our garbage and then we can hit the road and get home. So have the weekend to rest and then just a couple more days of this. So anyways, see you on day 4. Welcome to day 4 of this huge pallet racking install. We have just brought in about 45 uprights, bunch more beams, bunch more wire decking, because we are on a timeline crunch. So we're gonna be adding more pallet racking right here going this way. We've actually got some of our contractors here with us today that we work with from time to time who help us with some of our installs, and they're getting started on the spacers. So you can see we have a spacer down here, spacer there. They've got them all laid out on the floor, and then once the spacers are done, if they get to it today, they'll start doing some anchoring. But anyways, we're gonna get going. I'll set the camera up for some time lapses, and then anything surprising like that other pole we have over there in the middle of the room, I'll try and do some recording around that as we make some adjustments to work around that. So anyways, see you in a little while. Okay, so we just finished the row that's right behind me. We're getting ready to stand up another section over here, but the spacing on this one is gonna be different. By that I mean like the height of the bays or the shelves. So you'll notice that as we keep going here. Okay, so these shelves right here are for like hand stacking smaller items. So this right here is an 8x4. That's what we've been using the whole time. This is an 8x4. And then this one down here is only 3 inches tall. So 8 foot by 3 inches. And that's the customer's specifications. So this row at the bottom won't be forklift accessible. It'll just be for hand stacking. Okay, it's after lunch and now it's time to start going up on this row. So we're gonna add a few more shelves
Actually get the next rope from the ground.
above all of these hand stack ones. Anyways, so I'll set the camera up and you can watch this little time lapse. Okay, so we just finished for the day and everything looks really good. So this is the section where they'll be doing a lot of hand stacking. From my understanding, there's only going to be about a 4-foot gap right here. And then they'll have another row that looks almost identical to this one. And they'll have like some rolling ladders that they use to get up and down. And then as you can see here, probably because we made some decisions to have wider spacing on all these aisles when the owners were here, or the managers, the first day. It went ahead and pushed this row back so that we weren't able to hide this column inside of the wire decking. So that's just something that happens, and the forklift drivers will just have to maneuver around it, which isn't a big deal. But yeah, everything's looking really good so far. Our contractors were able to get some of the spacers up on these bays over here. So we got all these put up, spaced evenly, going up to the top. And then they've gone ahead and laid their anchor bolts down on all the places where they're going to be doing their anchoring. So that's the end of day 4. I know I'll be back tomorrow on day 5 to do some more filming and show you more of this process, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 5 of this massive pallet racking install. As you can see, our contractors got here this morning and they've started to put in the anchor bolts. They're moving along. We had a delivery to make on the morning here, on the way, a cantilever. But now it's about 10 a.m. and time to get the harness on and the Safety Pro. And we got to finish the top rack of the one we put up yesterday and put up one that I believe is identical, just like 4 feet away from it on the other side. So I'll set up the camera and see you in a bit. Okay, we just put up the very last upright for this job. It's right here, and now we gotta go and get the rest of our measurements for these shelves. And this right here is the 4-foot wide gap. You're gonna have like a rolling ladder so they can get to all of the items right here that are hand stacked. Okay, and just like that, we are at the end of 5 days installing this massive pallet racking system. So you can see behind me, we just completed this row up here. Looks great. It's ready for some hand stacking on the bottom and ladder access through the alley. And then the top shelf has 60-inch spacing so they can use their forklifts to get up there. But this is how everything looks. Very clean, very professional. And now we've just got about an hour or so of cleanup work to do. We've got our contractors down there. They're getting everything anchored. They'll be also finishing up the spacers today. Got some dirt on my nose, dirt everywhere. Filthy, sweaty. Good install, a lot of work, a lot of lifting. But if you want to see more of our installs, be sure to give us a follow, both on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're interested in pallet racking supplies, we sell new and used pallet racking. So you can go to blpalletrack.com and give us a call if you have questions. We'd be more than happy to give you a quote, help you design and set up your job that you've got. And we deliver locally, so we have an office or a warehouse based in Utah, and we have one in Indiana, and we sell pallet racking out of both of those. But yeah, leave us a comment if you have questions, and we'll see you at the next install.